let's go over our I guess our friendship or our story in terms of how we actually met.
Character arc.
The director's cut version of how we met, excluding, I guess, the fact that you told your ex-girlfriend that you really wanted to be friends with me.
It happened.
I mean, I've kind of got it lined out here. I guess we can start like the first time I remember meeting you would be through Black Chapter, which would have been, how do I put this? You booked shows with Felix, which later became a guitarist in Depths of Hatred. But you guys would both book shows for Depths of Hatred in kind of the suburbs of Montreal, mostly.
Yeah, so, I think the first place we booked you guys was in I want to say Sainte-Thérèse, but I don't think it was Sainte-Thérèse. It was before that. You played in Berthierville before.
Yeah, we did that show too. Yeah,
I remember doing this flyer.
Yeah, that was such a weird show too, because we showed up and like one of the opening bands had like 80 people out there for them. So the room was like, it was like in a church, and the room was fucking packed. So we were super stoked. We're like, holy shit, like this is cool. This is going to be like a really cool, like intimate show. And then I just remember like the guitarist had like a Carnifex shirt. So clearly he would have liked our band. But he just party at my place, and like everyone left. Literally everyone.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And all the bands.
I know the guy. I won't say his name here, but I remember who it is.
All the bands.
Christ.
All the bands left except for the band that played just before us. So there were like 4 people in the room plus like you and Felix.
Oh my god!
When we played,
actually, you say me and Felix. I don't even. You say me and Felix, but I don't even remember being there.
Maybe not.
I think like we were. I was doing the flyers and helping with the booking, but I mean it's like May 2nd, 2015. So I was probably like having like school this night, so maybe I wasn't there. Like it was a weekday, right? I don't think it was on a weekend.
I think I do remember it being on a random ass day, like a Thursday or something like that.
Yeah.
But you were there. You were there in the Sainte-Thérèse show, right? Though.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't miss that.
That's my first. That's my first like real like memory of meeting you, I guess. And you if I recall, you worked the door most of that night, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and
I was like the right hand man of Felix when he was booking shows.
Yeah, that's it. So Felix would deal a lot with booking the shows and getting the band contacts, and people would hit him up to book shows, and you would help him out with the flyers and attend the shows and help out and do whatever's needed
like
there.
Film some videos, you know.
Right, that's true. Yeah. And so that was kind of where we first met, but we didn't really. I don't remember really talking to you that day. I know I just remember seeing you, but that's about it. But then afterwards,
as I said before, I was like super starstruck. For real. I mean, I said it to you like when we were drunk in Sorel. Like in 2016, I was like, dude, you were like the biggest inspiration, man. Like at like 5 a.m. in Sorel.
Yeah, that sounds like a 5 a.m. in Sorel kind of thing to happen.
That's exactly it.
We eventually, I guess, you played in a band called Faithful Synthesis with Felix as well. So, which was the guy that was you were booking shows with, and we ended up getting booked on 4 dates with your band. So you guys booked the tour and you guys put yourselves on it. So we were doing 4 dates together, and that's kind of where things kind of started happening. We were looking for a new guitarist without getting too much into it. Long story short, we were looking for a new guitarist. We really liked you guys. Like we hung out with you guys every single show.
Yeah, that was cool,
and it was really cool. And we really hit it off with Felix. and who happened to be a great guitarist. And you guys did a pretty similar style music as ours. So after talking, we ended up asking Felix to be a part of the band. So once Felix joined the band, you kind of came along with it, kind of de facto, I guess, because then whenever we would play shows in the area, well, you were Felix's main boy, right? So you would be coming out, and you were taking pictures and stuff. So I remember quite a few shows where you would come and take pictures, and again, even at this point, we didn't really, like, you were there, but there wasn't really, we didn't really talk all that much. And it's funny because I started actually that Sainte-Thérèse show. This is funny. I remember this now, but that Sainte-Thérèse show where we would have actually first met is the first show I took pictures at ever.
Oh, is that true?
Yep. Yep.
Oh yeah, you took. Oh yeah, I remember you took pictures of the first band. Was it like Dream of an Absolution?
The first two bands, I took photos of them. I think that's one of the bands, but it's been a while now. But yeah, so funny enough, that's like the first show I ever took pictures at, and
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so I started getting into concert photography there. So I guess I was starting out, but I wouldn't say that would have been like a mutual interest necessarily back then.
I think like we chit chat like a bit about like photo gear or something like that, but we didn't have like a full blown conversation. Like,
well, I wouldn't have been even able to have a full conversation with you about photography, right? I knew shit. I didn't. By the time we were talking, I wouldn't have even have taken a photo, right? Like.
Yeah, I mean this was a crazy lineup too. I have a flyer right here. It was Join the Conspiracy, Gorgé, Pronostic, and you guys.
Yeah, that's it.
That was great, man.
And so when Felix joined Depths, we started seeing each other more because of that. You took some really cool photos of us at a few shows. And when we left on our tour with Inanimate Existence, we were doing a US tour for around 3.5 weeks. We asked you to come along with us to do some photos and videos. And we were talking about me daily vlogging earlier, but you putting out videos every single fucking day for Depths was the coolest fucking shit ever. And you were you were taking out photos on top of that. You were filming the entire day on top of that. Like you kept busy as fuck, but you were putting out some really, really cool content. And at this point, I had been taking photos for a little longer as well. I was still kind of in the beginning stages of all that, but that's when I think we really started hitting it off because you would need a space to edit your photos and your videos while we were waiting for the show to happen. And I would be doing merch every night. So we would both be hanging out behind the merch table. And coincidentally, I'd be taking photos on my side. So we'd both be editing photos side by side. There kind of wasn't a way for us to not get into conversations about photos, right? Like,
I mean,
it was kind of meant to be
like
at that
not
point.
to talk, it would be super awkward.
Yeah, that's it, right? So I think we both kind of really hit it off. Then I think we had a lot of other things in common, just a general humor and just the way that we interact with. Just I think our personalities kind of fit as well. I'm not into people that are super fucking loud and obnoxious or stuff like that. And you're super like chill and laid back. So that was definitely for me. I was like, thank God, like within this whirlwind of being on tour, that single moment I could have was just hanging out with like a really chill dude that's super laid back. I was like, oh hell yeah. Right. Like
that's the same for me, man. Like people that are just like too expressive or like just the high energy nonstop. I mean, it's good for them, but I can't keep up with that.
Right. No, exactly. Well, especially on tour, I can deal with it like here because it's like I'll hang out with someone once and it's just for a day or it's a few hours. Right. But on tour, it's super intimate, right? Like being that merch table was the only alone time I had right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, man, for sure.
And now I was sharing it with someone, right? So it could have gone wrong. Like I could have been like pissy and like wanted nothing to do with seeing other people. And it's weird to say that because being at the merch table would have, I'm still surrounded by like a bunch of people because it's a live show. But it really was like that only time where I wasn't with 5 or 6 other dudes trapped in a van, right? So
yeah, like it's the breath of fresh air of the day,
So that's kind of like where we really started hitting it off, and I think we've just been friends since, right? Like we obviously have photo and video in common. I started doing a little more video. So we started working on music videos together, even stuff for Depths of Hatred. You would come along and we'd kind of work on stuff together there as well with Mart as well. So that was always cool to kind of collaborate. Just kind of, I don't know, like lately we've been doing these set. We haven't done a ton, but just sharing our screens and kind of showing each other how we do things in Photoshop, right? So it's just cool to have someone that kind of does the same thing, right? And just makes us learn so much. Yeah. So I think man. Yeah, and I don't know about you, but for me, it's been cool to kind of to have someone else in that space, right? Because I don't really have any other concert photographer friends or someone else to talk about these things with. So you've been my go-to guy whenever I have something to talk about, photo or video or audio or anything like that. So on top of just music and stuff in general. So.
Yeah, man, it's like it's basically the same for me because I have a bunch of like friends like in bands or anything like from life exterior of anything we're doing today, and I need someone in my life that's with who I can talk about those things and just like hang out, just to do those things, because I wouldn't Felix is like my best friend since I don't know, almost like 12 years now.
Yeah.
Like 2008. And then I won't go like for a whole afternoon like doing photos with him, or I won't just like, hey dude, let's do a video or let's do some art or he just doesn't do that, because we have other things in common with, and all my friends are amazing and I love them, but you're special in my life for this reason, because we can do things together that we don't do with anyone else.
But don't get me wrong, I probably would like to have more friends that do photo and video stuff, right? But that's just not the reality, right? And it's super niche, like concert photography in and of itself. Like if you go out to shows in Montreal is a big city, but there's still not like fucking 500 people that do concert photography in Montreal. So let alone people you would actually get along with. Like most of the concert photographers we see are like older fat dudes with their like 3 cameras strapped around their neck. Like it's fuck that. Like that's not the, I mean, no offense to them, but it's just, I just don't see myself having that same kind of relationship. Right. So so that kind of goes over, I guess, how we met.
Dude. We forgot the most important thing.
What's the most important thing?
We playing Valheim, dude.
Oh, I had it written down too, but yeah, that's true. Valheim.
Jesus Christ, we've been playing hard.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've both logged 100 hours and we've been pretty much only playing together. So yeah, and we kind of took a break in there. We binged all. I think a good like 75 of those hours were spent in like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, right. When my girlfriend was gone, to work on a TV show, she wasn't there at all. So I had all my nights to play Valheim, and she's going again like this fall for 3 months. I know
that's gonna be toxic for our relationship.
Yep.